Demonic Angel. Today I'm going to talk about the true story of the first time I ever did blood magic. I've never done blood magic with another person, like pricking my thumb and having another person do so, and then like drinking out of a chalice of wine or some similar idea. I've never done that. I probably never will. Because for me it's all about sitting with whatever I feel is right for a period of time. And for me, I kind of like to keep this between me and spirits, ghosts, not many ghosts actually, but demons, and different deities, different gods that I feel appropriate for. So that's pretty much what I use it for. That's what I've always used it for. But I started researching the occult in my early 20s, and I was just trying to understand some of the paranormal experiences I had growing up, and also maybe trying to look for some answers about why I could read people so easily in this way, or could read an environment and really every time kind of have this accurate insight. And I just was trying to figure out what to do with it. So of course during all that I came across blood magic and the purposes and things like that. And I thought it was really, really interesting, and I was like, oh, I just can't imagine myself being like that at all. But eventually I just I kind of put it out of the back of my mind. But I kept going, into sigil drawing for that period of time, and kind of ideas like practicing channeling. But one day I was at the kitchen counter chopping up some bell peppers, and I cut open my hand, my finger pretty good, and I just like had this really, really intense desire out of it felt like just nowhere to go and apply it to the specific sigil that I had traced the outline of the sigil, but I wanted to color it in with black marker, later when I felt like when I was going to relax and kind of meditate upon the qualities of the sigil. So I just applied this to that, and I believe that it was actually Duke Bathen's sigil. I still have that little grimoire that I used, or that I, when I was like a newbie kind of occultist, I guess. So yeah, I just was like, that's what I need to do. And I was able to really get into a good trance and have this deeper kind of relationship in that way. Maybe it was just because I was ready for it. And I do tell people, not every sigil drawing needs blood magic. Not every blood magic is not appropriate for every deity or spirit. It really is a question of if that, if it's reported that spirit likes that. A lot of times, that can be part of the mentality of that, as far as the egregore essence of the spirit in this way, at least, then some other people have done that, and that's kind of a way that a spirit will feed. But I personally just like to think about it for a while, and I'll have that moment where I'll know if it feels right for me to do with that spirit. So that was just kind of like my first, but it was really weird though, because it was just kind of out of nowhere. I don't cut myself for a ritual, or I don't intentionally injure myself to create blood magic for a sigil drawing. But if it happens, sometimes I'll have a use for it, sometimes I'm not. I mean, it just depends too. Every day is really different for what I'm open to feeling that day, And if it's a really mundane day, or I really, you know, don't give a fuck that day, then I probably won't do anything about it. But if I'm so inclined, you know, I'll add that. Especially the way I use it now is like, for example, like we were talking about Duke Bath-in. So I did a, you know, blood magic, signing the sigil many years ago. So sometimes I return to that. I still draw new sigils because it's just feeding that energy, and I'll apply blood magic, and it's to that specific, you know, spirit that I have formed this relationship with years ago. And so it's me upholding my end of the bargain, because in this situation I'm offering blood magic as a source of energy, as a source of personal connection to me. And so that's kind of, you know, what I do in that way. I mean, people say, you know, they're really afraid of doing left-hand path, satanic types of pacts or whatever. I mean, you could think of it like a pact. Really, any of it is, but a pact is like you're asking someone to do something for you, but you have to do something in return. And you could get creative, right? You could say that you will apply fasting to a spirit. You can offer spices, incense, and that's just your end of the bargain to feed the spirit in this designated way. If you're like, yeah, I want to feel a little bit better, I want to feel a little bit more confident in my life, and then you feel that way by next week, so you forget about your end of the deal because it doesn't seem to really matter. Then a lot of times aren't going to get anything else out of it, or it might get taken away. And also it's just not a, you know, like, that's what I mean. You need to be grounded enough to realize that you're forming a relationship in some way with a spirit. I think it is on every practitioner's own terms, but the relationship has to be there of give and take, and that's what I have to say about that. So that was, you know, very basic story about the first time I ever did blood magic. I'll talk to you guys later.